In terms of where to start, the best place is to really identify and validate the pain that you're trying to solve. And you start that either in the customer segments or the value proposition. If you start identifying the customers first, then you're really trying to identify the group of people you want to help. If you're starting with value proposition, then you have a service or product in mind that you think is going to deliver value. And your job is then to find customers who will value those offerings. So to test assumptions, the most common way and good practice in the beginning is to just do in-depth interviews. So identify your core assumptions. So for example, with Go Together, one of our core assumptions was, are people willing to pick up strangers and invite them to come into their cars? And that without that validation, our whole business model is flawed. It'll never work. So we went and actually asked people who drive, are you willing to invite strangers? And of course, a lot of people said no. But we asked, what if you will get paid this X amount of dollars? What if you know that you go to the same school with them or work in the same office, but you just haven't met? What if that person can become your next best friend because you love golf so much? So these were some of the questions and ways that we were trying to figure out their pain and ways to solve that pain. Other than talking to customers, there are other creative ways to test your assumptions. After testing the core assumptions, you can build a landing page, for example, with one statement about value proposition and see how people respond. When Go Together first started, I had $300 in my bank account and I put that toward Facebook ads. So every week we had different slogans on Facebook to test which one drove people's attention the most. Then we measured the number of clicks. Then we converted that to measure how many people on the website actually signed up. So those are some of the metrics that you can identify and use to test your assumptions. How appealing is your value? And the most important question is, are people willing to pay for it? If not, who is going to pay for it? If you can't find the revenue stream, it's probably not of value. Okay, so a lot of investors and mentors and people in the field hear pitches all the time. And it's basically a 30-second or 60-second or even longer 3-minute pitch that summarizes what your business model is all about. Not your idea, but your business model. The positioning statement, as outlined in the article that you read from Mars, it includes several components. First of all, you want to address your customers. Who are your customers? And don't tell me it's everyone. Don't tell me it's everyone living in Vancouver. Be specific. Identify the pain points and then find out the group of people who have them. Are they large organizations? If so, what defines a large organization? Is it above a certain number of employees, for example, or is it above a certain X amount of revenue per year? So be as specific as you can. Then reiterate their pain. So for blank, for organization X or for customer type X who experience blah, 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 the problem. Then you want to tell me what your product or service is that's going to solve that pain. And again, be as specific as you can. So the role of a social entrepreneur is to find a business model that disrupts the way things are done. And there are many problems in our community, ways that we can improve our society. And every sector has their role. the public sector, the profit, the non-for-profit. Social entrepreneur's role is very unique in the sense that we challenge the status quo. We challenge the way bureaucracy has kept our society at status quo. We are constantly challenging the way things are done, and while finding a business model that is sustainable and scalable in order to create huge amount of impact that no sector can specifically address. I think that's what excites me the most every day. Of course, there are challenges. We talk to insurance companies, the government, schools, and organizations to find out that something like this can't be done because it's never done before. But I think that's a pretty lousy excuse, and that needs to be changed. So that's what motivates me and keeps me awake at night, but all at the same time make me wake up in the morning.